Yo, yo, yo. What is cracking, everyone out there? Happy you guys are here. That means you're in the playoffs. That means you're stressing out just like me. You're one of the people. You're in the playoffs right now, and you're stressing out because Tyreek Hill out, Chris Olave out. You got all kinds of injuries up and down in your roster. You're thinking, my God, here I am in the freaking playoffs. Half my roster is down. Like, what is going on? I know those rosters with no Tyreek, they are hurting right now, which I totally get and understand. By the way, oh my gosh, please let me know, Clark Schuyler. I see you're in the chat, which is great. If my microphone is acting weird, please let me know, and I will try to shoot this on the fly. Okay. Anyways, man, let's get it going, dude. So again, I know people stressing right now. Obviously they lost Tyreek Hill. Chris Olave is out. Oh my God, it's insane, right? We got injuries. I mean, you're talking about injuries right now. AJ Dillon is out. I don't know who's relying on him, but Nico Collins is out. Christian Watson is out. Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, it's insane. The number of players that are out of here, right? So especially in this playoff week, man, where we are just stressing out right now. So yeah, we're taking a look at some sleepers and stuff, and obviously we got it going on here. I listen, guys. Let me tell you right now, I've got sleepers for you. I'm okay. The sleeper king is in the building. I'm here to help you guys. So just let me know in the chats what you guys need. Obviously, if you go to receptionperception.com right now, I've got my full list of week 15 sleepers. I got 16 sleepers there at every position. We're talking quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight ends. And I know people are hurting right now at wide receiver. I'll just throw a couple of sleepers out there right now. I really like Odell Beckham Jr. against Jacksonville. Okay. I know he doesn't play that much, but man, when he's out there, they love throwing him the ball. Lamar and him are starting to really develop a nice little chemistry going on. Since week number 7, Odell is tied for the team lead in targets, leads the team in both air yards and receiving yards. His 3 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, tied with Mark Andrews for the most on the team since week number 7. Okay. So again, man, the matchup is great too. The Jags are bottom 7 in completion percentage, yards per target allowed to the outside, and they've allowed the 11th most yards in fantasy points to outside wide receivers. So great matchup. Darius Williams on the outside for Jacksonville is good. The second corner, whoever it's going to be, is trash. Safety play, trash. Linebacker play, not very good. Okay. The secondary for Jacksonville, not good. All right. I love Odell Beckham this week. I love Romeo Doubs this week as well against Tampa Bay. Look, we love Jayden Reed. Okay. Actually, hold on. I got a call coming in, guys. This is my wife. She never calls me during the stream unless we got something going on. Hold on. Yes, babe. What's going on? I'm on the stream. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hot or cold coffee?
I will take a hot coffee. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See ya. So it was not an emergency. It was not an emergency. She just wanted to know what kind of coffee I wanted. That's love right there, y'all. That is love right there. I love it, man. That's great. Yeah. So again, hey, by the way, more people streaming in, which is obviously great. Throw your questions into the chat. Audio wise, I hope I'm okay audio wise, man. So yeah, Anthony Russell, I appreciate it. Yeah, sounds good. Great. Mike is good right now. All right, cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. All right, sick. Okay, I like Romeo Doubs against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has allowed the 6th most yards per game, 6th highest yards per target as well to outside receivers. Great matchup. Obviously, no Christian Watson opens up target share. Jayden Reed, I think, is a great sleeper too. But Romeo Doubs, we love. Yeah, again, both those guys I think are absolute, strong starts this week. Listen, if you're looking for a little deeper, okay, we got Wan'Dale Robinson against New Orleans. Okay, the Saints have been a slot funnel all year long, significantly tougher, more dangerous on the outside corner spots. Wan'Dale Robinson played great last week, right? 7 targets, 6 grabs, 79 receiving yards. They also used him out of the backfield, 115 total yards for Wan'Dale Robinson. And I thought he looked explosive. So I was a little bit surprised by how explosive he looked. Let's see if he could build on that going here into week number 15 in a slot funnel matchup against New Orleans. So I kind of sort of like Wan'Dale Robinson this week as well. JSN, I know he's not widely available, but if he's on your bench and you need him, I obviously really like him against Philadelphia. The Eagles have allowed the most fantasy points per game to wide receivers in general, but the most fantasy points per game to wide receivers, specifically in the slot, including the most receptions, yards, touchdowns allowed per game to receivers in the slot. Again, JSN averaging 3.3 receptions and 30 yards per game in his first 7 games. Okay, now we're seeing a huge tick up over the last 6 games where he's averaged an entire reception more and about, about 17 yards more per game. So 4.3 receptions, 47 yards per game over his last 6 games, right? So, and I really like his touchdown upside this week. Whoever it's going to be, whether it's Drew Lock or Geno Smith, I think it'll be fine. Should be a higher scoring game against Philadelphia. Philadelphia also tougher against the run, right, than they are the pass. So it's a very heavy pass funnel. And then again, I start thinking about, I know Seattle wants to run the ball, but will they be able to run the ball, especially given game script, especially given the matchup? I think they're going to be forced into throwing the ball a little bit. I think JSN, a pretty strong play this week. All right, now I got 2 more deep sleepers here, or excuse me, 1 more deep sleeper here for you that I really like. Again, we really like Wan'Dale Robinson as a deep sleeper, should be widely available. And for the deep sleeper, Xavier Hutchinson against Tennessee. Okay, Nico Collins is out. He's a rookie from Iowa State. I think he profiles a little bit better as an outside X receiver for Houston. Now you're thinking, okay, well, why do I care about this random rookie from Iowa State? He's done nothing, right? Okay, let me tell you why. Tennessee has allowed at least 1 outside receiver to score double-digit PPR points literally every single game this year. As a matter of fact, in 2 straight weeks, they've allowed 2 outside wide receivers to score double-digit points in each game, right? So there's a real strong possibility. And look, the quarterback situation, I get it. It's a little dicey, all right? But the matchup is so clean. It's so nice. I've got Xavier Hutchinson in as a deep sleeper. Again, this is for folks who are in 14-team leagues, or maybe you're in a 12-team league, super competitive. All the guys that I just mentioned are off the board. There's nobody on the waiver wire as we are sitting here at 9:10 a.m. Pacific time on a Sunday, and you're desperate. You just got the Chris Olave news, and you're like, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? Xavier Hutchinson at least gives you something here, okay? And again, remember, this is an outside wide receivers. This is a team that's been so bad, Tennessee. They've allowed Deontay Johnson to score a touchdown on them. This was his first touchdown since the Reagan administration, okay? Alec Pierce had his only touchdown in his only 100-yard game against Tennessee, right? So this is, again, a really bad unit. By the way, Jonathan Mingo had a double-digit PPR day against Tennessee's secondary, all right? So last week, Hutchinson, I'm calling him Hutch was tied for the team lead in snaps played and essentially ran the same number of routes as Bobby Trees and Noah Brown. He's going to be, again, I think, highly utilized by this offensive coaching staff. Now, I'm also going back to the fact that Noah Brown, who I believe is active. Let me look this up here real quick. I'm like 99% sure Noah Brown is active here today. But Noah Brown, even if he is active, whatever, the bottom line is for me, when I watch him line up outside, real tough. Yeah, Noah Brown is active today. Real tough, right? He's just not very good on the outside. Maybe he could play a little bit of flanker, and he plays a little, slot, which is, I think, his most productive area is in the slot. He could play off the line as well. But if we're talking about on the line X receiver, not that many dudes, man. This team doesn't have that many dudes. Robert Woods at this point in his career, not really going to be an all-the-line X receiver, okay? He can play off the ball too. So I'm thinking 3 wide receiver set, Hutchinson, Robert Woods, Noah Brown, with Robert Woods and Noah Brown kind of sort of mixing in between the slot and flanker. And I think Hutchinson can be that, X receiver for them. So again, I just think he's going to be on the field. I think he's going to be on the field for this team, for Houston. And it's just a beautiful matchup. Look, you know what's crazy? I've got a DFS lineup with Case Keenum and Xavier Hutchinson. I mean, you're talking bottom of the basement. Both of those guys combined on DraftKings are $7,000 combined. Okay. You don't have to have that much go right for that to be profitable. Okay. When you're talking about $7K combined for Xavier Hutchinson and Case Keenum, for that to be profitable in DFS, you need them to go 3x their price, right? So $7K, you need them to score a combined 21 points, which is not that much. Okay. I'm just saying in DFS, I'm not fully advocating the Case Keenum, Xavier Hutchinson stack. I'm just saying Hutchinson at 3K is a pretty good dart throw. It's a pretty good dart throw if you're trying to play a tournament and you need a little variance here. Case Keenum's $4,000, man. Nothing. No, you're paying more for tight end. 4K for a quarterback, dude. He only needs to score 12 points for that to be profitable in DFS. That's nuts. Anyways, whatever. Let me get to some of you guys' questions here, man. And we'll get it going. But yeah, hold on. Let me oh my God, let me get some stuff going here. I got way too many tabs open. Anyways, again, if you have questions, throw them into the chat. I'm going to be answering. We're going to rip them rock and roll right now. We got about 45 minutes to kick off. By the way, if you guys like the channel, subscribe to the channel. All right. That would be awesome. That would help me a lot. Obviously, like the post or whatever it's going to be. I mean, just hit a freaking like a little heart icon for God's sakes. Okay. But if you would subscribe to the channel too, that means nothing. It means nothing for you. Just subscribe to the channel. Who cares? Anyways. All right, let's go. Anthony Russell, I see you. Been a big time, long time supporter. So I always appreciate that. Do you start Garrett Wilson or Gabe Davis? You lost Tyreek. Oh man, tough. Garrett Wilson or we're starting Garrett Wilson. This one's easy. Listen, look, I know Gabe Davis has a good matchup on the board. Great matchup on the board. Okay. But we're going Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go ahead and take the look, Zach Wilson is in there. And this is supposed to be a higher scoring game for Buffalo. And I get it, Gabe Davis, whatever. He's actually, I say it all the time, he's due. Gabe Davis is due. Let me tell you, he's due. But no, I mean, listen, with Zach Wilson under center, he's going to get the ball out to Garrett Wilson, his guy, So I'm anticipating double-digit targets here for Garrett Wilson. He's a great player. He's an explosive player. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So I think Miami's defense, by the way, has been obviously much better than when they first started, but they're still gettable. They're still gettable. Over the last 8 weeks to outside wide receivers, okay, Miami Dolphins are about league average in terms of fantasy points per game allowed, but they have allowed a 63% completion rate. That's below average. That's actually 11th worst in the NFL, below average in yards per target allowed, below average in total touchdowns allowed to outside wide receivers. So this is a unit that, again, I'm not scared of the matchup, if that makes any sense, right? So no, Garrett Wilson by a lot. Anthony Russell, I'm feeling it with Garrett Wilson this week. By the way, and again, I'm not saying Gabe Davis is a bad play this week, because I do think, like legit, I do think that he's due. Like he's going to catch a long one. But you're almost at this point depending on him to catch a touchdown for it to be profitable, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I just feel like in this particular offense with this particular, OC, they've de-emphasized the prayer balls going downfield to both Diggs and Gabe Davis, which actually I think has hurt Diggs because he needs a couple of those long ball shots. But overall, the offense is looking healthier. It's looking better. And I think Josh Allen has been playing much better quarterback, man. So yeah, I like Garrett Wilson a lot over Gabe Davis this week. Clark Schuyler, T-Law against Baltimore, Baker versus Green Bay. Oh my God, what are we doing here? Because no, it's a great question because it's a much better matchup for Baker. T-Law looked obviously not right last week. I can't believe they threw him out. I mean, I guess I can, but I can't believe they really threw him out there. Baltimore's the toughest matchup on the board. To be honest with you, they've allowed the fewest fantasy points per game to quarterback. And yeah, it's a tough, that right there is a tough matchup. Baker Mayfield, I think, is going to be in a little bit more of a shootout. So am I going to get crazy? I think I might get crazy. Do I go green? Do I go? Yeah, I think I'm going Baker here. I think I'm going Baker. Chat, what you guys think, man? This one's a tough one for me, but I think I'm going Baker. But chat, let me know what you guys think. You guys going Baker against Green Bay or T-Law against Baltimore, man? But for me, I'm going to go Baker. Let's live a little. Doug Higginbotham, what's up, man? Full PPR, JSN, Cooper, Trey McBride, Calvin Ridley, Drake London. You need 3 out of 5. Oh my God, sir, come on, guy, help me, help y'all. I know y'all. You, Dougie Fresh, my guy. I know you're not considering all 5 of these dudes. You want to start a bunch of these dudes, right? So let me help you. So when you ask a question, I'll maybe pick 2. 3 is a bridge too far. I like to answer 1, but I'll do it for you though, Dougie, because we're in the playoff mode. All right. Full PPR, JSN Cooper. You're playing Cooper. Trey McBride. This is in the flex now, I'm assuming, right? Calvin Ridley. I don't like Calvin. Let me tell you right now, I don't want to play Calvin Ridley. Okay, so go ahead and sit him down. All right. So, and I think I'm sitting down JSN too. I know I just said he's a sleeper, but ahead of Cooper, Trey McBride, and Drake London, I'm not so sure. I want to play Cooper definitely among this group. I want to play Cooper. Yeah, man. The other ones are a little bit dicier. Atlanta taking on Carolina, and Carolina, not because they're good, but just because it's such a run funnel, have allowed the 6th fewest fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers. Honestly, I just don't think it matters with Drake London. Go ahead and start him too. So we're starting Cooper. We're starting Drake London. Now, for me, it's either between the Calvin Ridley one's interesting, right? Because he's the number 1. But I just don't really like the matchup overall. And I really don't like how he's been playing. Very up and down this year. So, oh man, this one's tough. We're going Drake London. We're going Cooper. I kind of sort of like Trey McBride in full PPR, to be honest with you. Let me just put it to you this way. I think Trey McBride gives you the best floor. I think JSN gives you the best upside. I think that's kind of how I'm leaning. But let me go Trey McBride right there. Let me go Trey McBride. I know against San Francisco, I'm like, okay, but man, they just throwing a Trey McBride all day long, man. So Drake London, Cooper, Trey McBride. Let's go. Okay. Gang Green, what's up, man? Gang Green. By the way, Gang Green, Anthony Russell, Clark Schuyler, y'all are the best, man. Just coming into the chat every week, man. Just helping me out, bro. Love it. Love y'all. Giving the support, man. It's awesome. Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas, or Jerick McKinnon. Yeah, so Juju's been ruled out, which was a little bit of a surprise for me. I guess he's been dealing with knee and ankle injuries anyways, but I'm going to go Jerick McKinnon here. I think overall, Jerick McKinnon's been, again, an integral part of the offense. I think, against New England, it's obviously not a great matchup, but what I think I like about KC right now is, first of all, they're in desperation mode. They can't lose this game. They cannot lose this game to New England. Can't do it. Okay. They are down bad right now as KC too. But I think what they've done too with the offense, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but they've condensed it down here. Remember in the first 5-6 weeks of the season, this is a team that, oh man, Eagles downgrading Jalen Hurts to questionable. What? Okay, that's crazy. That's something we got to keep an eye on. But they've condensed it down, right? Where fewer and fewer guys are getting the ball. Fewer and fewer guys are getting opportunities. Whereas before it was 11 guys were getting targets. Right now it's mostly, Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice. And I think it's going to be Jerick McKinnon. I think this is, again, a wide receiver core that stinks. But Jerick McKinnon for them, J-Mac has been a pretty good pass catching option out of the backfield. I would not be surprised if, again, Kansas City just condenses down even more, especially against New England. And Bill Belichick is going to be trying to limit Travis Kelce here a little bit, right? So I really like Rashee Rice in this game. I like Jerick McKinnon as well. So go ahead and give me Jerick McKinnon over Pop Douglas. And by the way, that offense is just a mess. God, New England's offense is, what are we doing here? Which is crazy stuff. All right. K1 or Stafford? Stafford. Easy. CM, this is easy. It's Washington's in disarray. Their secondary stinks. Stafford's been playing well. K1's playing San Francisco. Nah, dude, we're good. I know that, you drafted K1, maybe you drafted K1 higher than Stafford. Stafford for the first 6, 7 weeks, 8, 10 weeks of the season sucked from a fantasy perspective, actually crushed you from a fantasy perspective. But over the last 3 weeks, man, he's been great, dude. He's been awesome. And he's been playing well, dude. And yeah, let's just go, man. I think Stafford's got a great matchup on the board against Washington. I think he lights it up. He's got 2 touchdowns. Lock it up. Stafford, 2 touchdowns minimum. We're hoping for 3. Maybe we get crazy and he gets 4. 2 at a minimum. He's good. He's good to go. FP early bird subscriber. Okay. I like it. Let's go. What up, dude? Non-PPR. You need touchdown upside. Oh, old school dinosaur league, which I love. Drake London, OBJ, CEH, McKinnon, Gabe. Yeah, because it's non-PPR, I don't like McKinnon as much right there. If you're looking for touchdown upside, I particularly like OBJ. Actually, if you want that touchdown upside, I think from a yardage perspective, London probably gives you the best floor. CEH is going up against, and he's just primarily a ground option, going up against one of the toughest, ground defenses, rush defenses in the NFL in New England. For me, it's between London and OBJ. I believe it or not, I think I'm leaning towards OBJ right here just a bit. Ooh, I know that one's tough. But yeah, go ahead and give me OBJ right here. If you need that touchdown upside, yeah, I'll go ahead and take Odell. Why not? Why not? David Terrell, playoffs. Happy playoffs, everybody. No questions this week since buys in all 3 leagues. What? Good for you, pal. Good for you. Wait, hold up. You got buys in all 3, and you're still in the stream? Dog, you're the best. Thank you, David Terrell. You are the best. That's dope, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Scotty D, what's up? Happy week 15. Do I get cute, chase the upside on running Taysom Hill today with Olave out instead of Cole Kmet against a rough Browns matchup? Yeah, actually. I like Taysom Hill. I like Taysom Hill quite a bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, man, I'm down. I'm down for that. Again, Cole Kmet has had splash games. There is no doubt. But overall, it's been very up and down for Cole Kmet. And again, we talk about condensing down targets, right? No Olave. What are they going to do? They're going to run the ball. Who are they going to run it with? They're going to run the ball with Alvin Kamara. But you know who else they're going to run it with? Taysom Hill. Okay. He's going to get some opportunities running that rock against a shitty Carolina rush defense for sure, dude. So no, he's going to get some rushes. He's going to get, I don't know how many targets he's going to get, maybe he gets 1 or 2. Okay. But he'll get some rushing opportunities. And you're almost treating him like a backup running back or something in a great matchup against Carolina. But he's going to get some work, man. I think 5 carries. I'll say 2 targets. And he'll get a couple passing opportunities too. So overall, pretty good stuff. Yeah, Clark Scott, I got to have that hot coffee, man. Got to have that hot coffee right now. Thomas Fairfield, is Tua going to sink your week 15 chances? I'm assuming it's a typo. Yeah, because he looked, dude, that offense looked like trash with no Tyreek last week. But can I just say this? Mike McDaniel is a great head coach, right? And you've given him a full week to prepare, an offense, and I think he's going to get it done. So I think I believe in him as a coach, and I think he'll, work that out. So I think he'll have Tua ready. I think he'll have Waddle ready. I think he'll just have the offense in general ready. I think I saw somebody. Ask about Mostert. Maybe that was on Twitter, but yeah, overall, I think Mostert's going to get some work here too, man. So, is Tua going to sink your week 15 chances? I don't know. I don't know who's on your bench, but I think he'll be fine. I think Tua will be fine. I don't think he's going to look as bad as he did last week against Tennessee. At least I would hope not, man. Golly. I mean, I'm not the biggest Tua guy. I think Tua is, a totally regular, NFL starter. I'm not going to say he's bad because he's not bad. But at the same time, I don't think that he's a playmaker, right? But if you pair him with, I think you still got Waddle, Mostert. I still think you've got, again, Mike McDaniel, great head coach. I think he'll be fine. But I got to know who's on your bench. So Beer Khan, I can sense the desperation in your voice right now. I can sense it. Olave's out. You need to replace one. You've got Kincaid, Keaton Mitchell, Noah Brown, Charbonnet, Waller, and McKinnon. PPR, go McKinnon right here. We keep waiting on Keaton Mitchell. And it's just like, it's really hard to depend on big plays because it's a 3-man rotation there. Doesn't get a lot of just straight up goal line looks. I'll go McKinnon right here, man. If it's full PPR. If it's full PPR, give me McKinnon. If it's like half PPR, if it's like half PPR, maybe I'm thinking Noah Brown. I'm either between Noah Brown and McKinnon. I'm going to be 100% honest with you here. Charbonnet scares me a little bit, backfield split with Kenneth Walker. Mitchell, obviously in a split. Kincaid in a tight end split, which is not that great, man. So I'm leaning towards McKinnon or Noah Brown. Make your pick. Achane or Singletary. What's the news on Achane, guys? Let me tell you this, man. I'm not loving Singletary. I don't love it. I really don't. Let me pull up some notes here. Look, you can start him, in a spot. There's no question, right? But Tennessee is so tough against running backs, man. They've allowed the hold on. I pulled up the wrong numbers here. Tennessee, it has been tough against running backs. You take a look here. They have allowed the second fewest yards before contact. They have allowed 3.8 yards per carry. That's 10th best in the NFL over the last 8 weeks. Just a really tough run defense. Now, where they have been banged, obviously, is a little bit out of the backfield. But this is an offense that really doesn't throw to the backfield that much. Whatever Bobby Sloak has got going on with Houston, they just don't throw to the backs that often. Now, I know Devin Singletary had that one random game where he got a bunch of catches, but overall, in general, they just don't throw to the backs. So for me, I think it's a really tough matchup for Devin Singletary. I think I'm going Achane there. But what is the news on Devin Achane, man? I got to look this up. Achane. I know Achane is in, but how in? Do you know what I'm saying? How in is Devin Achane? Oh my God. Yeah. All right. You can't really get it. You can't really get a good feeling for Achane here. Look, he's active though. And I'll go ahead and chase that upside. There, man. RJ Zay, what do we got? Waddle or Metcalf? I know, right? With Tyreek now out, Waddle's seeing 15 targets today. Waddle, 15 targets. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a tough matchup. It's not the best, obviously. That's not really what you want to see if you're Jalen Waddle. You're taking on the Jets. The Jets have obviously been extremely tough. As a matter of fact, let me look this up here. The Jets have allowed to outside wide receivers. The Jets, New York Jets. Yeah, that's right. They have allowed the fewest fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers. Oh my God, dude, look at these numbers across the board. What? You're not going to believe this, guys. The Jets are number one. I'm going to give it all to you. They're number one in receptions, yards, completion percentage, yards per target, touchdowns, fantasy points allowed per game to outside wide receivers. Literally the toughest matchup on the board for Jalen Waddle today. I'll give you another scary stat. The Jets have not allowed a single touchdown to a wide receiver lined up outside in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, they're the only team to not. Oh, no, I take that back. The Saints have also not allowed a touchdown to an outside wide receiver in 8 weeks. But Tyreek did catch one against the Jets, and you're thinking, oh, okay, well, he got one, right? Tyreek was at the time lined up in the backfield when he got that touchdown. Okay, so they have not allowed a touchdown to a wide receiver lined up outside in 8 weeks. Some of the receivers they have faced. I mean, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. They saw Drake London. Nico got hurt, but they did see Steph Diggs, limited him to 6.7 points. Interesting stuff. They saw Devontae Adams in week 10. Nothing. Crazy. This is crazy stuff. So I think we generally love targets. Damn. I was going to say Waddle, but you know what? Reading that, I'm going Metcalf. RJ Zay, I'm going Metcalf right here. Obviously the best matchup on the board when you're talking about Philadelphia. Yeah, give me DK Metcalf. Yeah, let's go. Let's go right there. Where else we going? Eric Garland. I see you, pal. I need you too, pal. All right, half PPR. James Cook or a hobbled Achane with Tyreek out. Yeah. Give me, golly. You know what, man? Go ahead and still give me James Cook right there. This offense is obviously featuring Cook a lot more. He's getting opportunities around the goal line. They're passing to him. In half PPR, I wish it was full PPR. Then I'd feel really, really good about James Cook. But even in half PPR, I think we're okay right there. Go ahead and give me James Cook. I think he'll be fine. Dallas is obviously a really tough matchup against running backs as well. But I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Obviously, Vegas certainly thinks so. They've got this game at, what's their point total here? Dallas versus Buffalo. A 51-point total, highest of the week, right? So if we're chasing upside and we're thinking about touchdowns, right? Touchdown upside, certainly Buffalo has that, right? 26.75 projected points for Buffalo, one of the highest on the board, but 51-point total would suggest we've got a little bit of shootout coming, right? So you want that touchdown exposure. Go ahead and give me James Cook right there. Tier Diaz, go check out his IMDb. All right, let's go, Tier. What's up, man? Dak at Buffalo, Lamar at Jacksonville. Lamar at Jacksonville. You've got Pollard, Lamb potential stacks. Yeah, I don't care about the stacks in redraft. In redraft, it doesn't matter as much. Stacks, obviously. Go ahead and give me Lamar against Jacksonville. Easy call. I like Dak a lot. Buffalo's much tougher defense. And I know we talked about that touchdown upside with the 51-point total, but Lamar, man, first of all, you got great quarterback room too, by the way, but Jacksonville secondary has not been very good at all. I think Lamar lights it up, and I think he gets it going on the ground too. All right, I think he gets it going on the ground too. Steve O'Hulk, what's up? Who do you think is a good plan for Hurts? What do you think is a good plan for Hurts? Wait it out for potential flu game. I think he's going to, listen, man, I think he's going to go. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I don't know. I think he's going to, my gut reaction is I think he goes, but what the hell do I know, dude? Or do you play Fields? He's not in a bad spot either, though, Fields, right? Taking on Cleveland. And let me tell you why. Cleveland runs, You know what? The more I think about it, just go ahead and play Fields because Cleveland plays a very heavy man coverage scheme, right? One of the heaviest man coverage teams in the league. They also get pretty good quarterback pressure. So when I think about pressure coming down, it's going to encourage Fields to get out of the pocket. And, again, get out of the pocket, and it's man coverage, right? So, when you think about man coverage, DBs have their back turned towards quarterback. Pressure coverage, Justin Fields probably going to get out the pocket and run. That's what I like. I like that a lot. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Just getting some stuff out here. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I like Fields actually right there. I don't think that's a bad option at all. I would be really just hesitant to wait that long. And, dude, Mariota's not. Yeah. If you've got Mariota as a pivot, that's not very good, man. So screw that. Go ahead and give me Fields. Let's not mess around. Let's just do it. If you didn't have Fields, I would just say wait it out. But since you've got Fields, and I think he's in a good spot, I think you just go ahead and go Justin Fields right there, Steve Hulk. All right, Paul DeSantis. No Tyreek. Hopefully no relation to the other DeSantis. No Tyreek. Go with London, Godwin, or pick up Demarcus Robinson in a great matchup. Go with London, Godwin. Oh, we're going London here. Godwin's banged up. Plus, he doesn't really get that much work, man. Like, I know he saw 11 targets last week. I promise you he's not seeing more than 8 targets this week. I promise you. There's just no way. It was super inefficient when they were throwing him targets. He's a little banged up too. Nah, they're going back to Mike Evans, man. They're going to air it out. Go London right here. I mean, you're talking about London or, semi-hobbled Godwin or Demarcus Robinson. I know it's a great matchup. It's an awesome matchup. And by the way, Tutu Atwell also ruled out. So Demarcus Robinson should get a little bit more work. But, man, he's like fourth fiddle, though. You're talking about Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, right, are going to be getting the work. Demarcus Robinson just be getting, I don't know. How many targets is he going to get? 3, 4? I don't know. We're good. I'm going to go Drake London right there. Look, I could be wrong. Demarcus Robinson could absolutely, see 3 or 4 targets and get 100 yards because that's how bad Washington is. But, I mean, you're asking a fantasy guy. I mean, it's like, I've got to look at a little bit of volume. I'm looking at some matchups and stuff like that, man. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and go Drake London right there. Nas K, what's up? Wan'Dale or James Conner? Connor's got one of the toughest matchups on the board, but he's going to get work, right? San Francisco is so tough. But Connor's coming off of a 2-touchdown game, and they would be smart to feature him just to try to keep the game close, man. You can't let these guys air it out on you. You got to sustain some drives. You got to run it on them. You have to. I mean, you don't really have options, right? You got Hollywood Brown as an outside wide receiver. That's it. They've got nothing else. Michael Wilson comes back, which is good. That's good for them. But they have to run the ball. It would be, I don't know, man. It would be dumb as hell for them not to run the ball. So, I don't know. I think I kind of sort of like James Conner there because I think you're going to get, the volume with Conner. And again, I think he probably gives you a little bit better touchdown upside. There's 2 ways this can go too, by the way. Either he's effective on the ground and they're grinding out yardage. By the way, this is another kind of game. This is a total trap game here for San Francisco. Total trap game, dude. So I wouldn't be that surprised if Conner has a pretty good game. Wan'Dale's obviously, like I said, one of my featured deep sleepers, but that's what he is. He's a deep sleeper. I wouldn't play him over James Conner. So go ahead and give me James Conner right there, man. Again, this one could go sideways because the matchup sucks. But there's 2 ways. Either he's effective early or he's not effective early. Arizona gets down, 2, 3 touchdowns late, and we start seeing some check down options here, right? So some garbage time stuff for James Conner. But I think either way, I think he'll get there for you, man. So I'm not that worried about it. it's a tough matchup. It's a brutal matchup for sure. Yo, mama's so fat. You got 3 bye weeks. Just here to enjoy the show. What? Oh, dog. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. By the way, I'm thinking about shifting to TikTok Live on these. I know I'm asking a YouTube crowd, but how would y'all feel if I just shifted full time to TikTok? It's just easier. Their platform's a little easier to use. I actually had a TikTok Live a couple days ago. I think it was on Friday. Yeah, it was on Friday. It went pretty smoothly, right? So it's just easier because with my phone and I can kind of sort of do it from anywhere, whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Would you guys do that if I was on TikTok Live doing this exact same damn thing? I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. I mean, I'm asking you in week 15. What am I doing? Should have been asking you in like week 5, man. What am I doing out here, bro? All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Clark Schuyler, here we go, real quick. As we got 20 minutes to go here. Which 2 in standard dinosaur leagues? Non-PPR. Mostert, yep, playing him. Kamara, oh my God, yeah, we're playing Kamara for sure, 100%. Aaron Jones with no Dillon against Tampa Bay. Nah, give me Mostert and Kamara. That one's easy. Wandale or Rashid Shaheed? Chris Smith. Chris Smith, this has got to be I don't think I've ever seen your comments in here before. So if it's your first time, man, welcome. And I appreciate it. And again, for anybody new, I wouldn't hate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. Anyways, all right. So Chris Smith, Wandale or Rashid Shaheed? I kind of like Shaheed here. No Olave. Shaheed's got to see some work. They're probably going to try to run the crap out of the ball. By the way, I love Kamara. I think Kamara goes nuts. But yeah, go ahead and give me, I think I like Shaheed here just a little bit. Let's go. I'm not super confident in either one of those guys because obviously I've got both of them listed down as deeper sleepers here. Hold on. You know what? I will look this up because I think Shaheed's going to line up mostly outside with Olave out. All right. So let me go ahead and look this up. Giants here, New York Giants. How do they do against outside wide receivers? Yeah, they've allowed production, right? They're in the bottom half of the league. They've allowed the 13th most fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers. They've allowed, the 12th most yards per game to outside wide receivers, the 10th most receptions per game to outside wide receivers. So, yeah, they're attackable out there. Shaheed, obviously a big play threat. Maybe he catches one over the top. I don't know. I kind of sort of like it. I think Wandale's a really interesting floor play, though, for you. If you wanted better floor, I think Wandale will give it to you. I think he's got, let's just say for Wandale, like when I start thinking about what he's going to do, I'm projecting him anywhere between 4 to 7 receptions and something like 35 to 65 yards, right? So, less than 10 yards of reception, obviously, because with where he plays and how he plays. But anywhere between 4 to 7 receptions and like 35 to 65 yards. So we're talking like, anywhere between like 7-ish to 14 points, maybe. So I kind of like like I said, I like the floor for Wandale. Rashid Shaheed honestly could give you a 0. Like that's where it gets a little dicey. That being said, he could also give you 20. I don't think Wandale can give you 20. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. So if I'm chasing the upside, give me Shaheed. If you just want that like 8 to 12 point floor, I think Wandale's a little bit better. So yeah. Oh man, useful for future weeks, dude. Darren Terrell, come on, bro. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, and I will say this, man. Obviously, we talk fantasy football, but I like just talking football, just regular old ball as well. But I appreciate the support, y'all, man. That's dope, man. Okay, so Marco Parla Greco, Dubs against Tampa Bay or McKinnon versus New England. Dubs. Give me Dubs. I think, first of all, it's a great matchup against Tampa Bay. They can't defend outside wide receivers at all. I love the matchup on the board. By the way, I also love the fact that It's going to sound weird. I love the fact that Green Bay and Jordan Love sucked last week because I think they're going to be hyper motivated to get back on the board. They've got a soft matchup against Tampa Bay. And yeah, I think Dubs will be the one of the two primary beneficiaries with him and Jaden Reed. I love Jaden Reed this week. Love Jaden Reed this week. By the way, both extremely affordable in DFS environments as well. You got to play either one. Don't play both, but you can play either one. You can stack it up with Jordan Love as well. That's a pretty good stack in DFS. So I like both of those guys for sure. Now that I'm speaking on it, I wish I took the time actually to build a Green Bay stack in DFS, but I did not. It's all good. I am going, for those just joining in, dude, I'm running out there in DFS. You guys aren't going to believe this, dude. I'm legit running a Houston stack out there. Legit. Case Keenum, Xavier Hutchinson for the win. Let's go. I've obviously then been able to stack up, load up all the other positions. And so the rest of my lineup looks really good. I've got Kelsey Kelsey and Kamara, and we're stacking up all the other spots. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see how it turns out. It's going to be funny. It's a funny ass stack, which I love. Chad Drufke. Yeah, I don't know. How do we say that? Chad, how do we say that? Drufke or Droof? I don't know, man. I like it though. I like it. As somebody with just 3 letters in his last name, like I said, man, it's like my boy Dougie Higginbotham. Like, yo, I love complicated last names because mine's just so basic. Mine's basic ass last name. I love it. Anyways, Chad, what's up, dude? This is definitely the first time you've been in the chat, bro. At least the first time you've commented, which is great. Anyways, hopefully I can help. And if I do help, man, subscribe to the channel, baby. Let's go. Okay. Shaheed, Spears, Waller, or Kmet. You've got Goddard at tight end. Yeah, you want to play Goddard at tight end for sure. Waller's active for the first time in like a bajillion years. I don't know how much they're going to utilize him. I feel a little bit shaky playing him for the first time. Tyjae Spears. Oh man, you talk about up and down production, dude. I don't know if I love it right there. Shaheed's up and down. Kmet's up and down. This is tough. I am honestly going to say I think I probably feel the best about Waller, which God, that sucks. I feel the best about Waller because all these guys are super up and down. Like, how are we feeling about Tyjae Spears, man? You talk about a player who's just been, up and down. But overall, I don't love the matchup on the board against Houston. Houston, believe it or not, has been, sneaky good against running backs. Yeah, we're talking week 12 against Carolina, best matchup on the board. Tyjae Spears has 1.7. Then against Indianapolis, which is also a great matchup, he's got 12.8 because they threw him the ball 6 times. And then against Miami, they were heavily trailing game script, 7 carries for 29, so that's not very good. And then he got 8 targets, 6 grabs for 89 yards, right? So ended up with 17.8. In this game, which I think is going to be a much closer game, a little bit of a nip-and-tuck affair. I don't think either that or I think Tennessee might be ahead, to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to throw him the ball that much, to be honest with you. So I'm a little bit hesitant there. I'll even look up some of these numbers here for Houston in terms of their rush defense. Again, sneaky good have the Houston Texans been. And as a matter of fact, they have allowed the 6th fewest fantasy points per game to running backs over the last 8 weeks, right? So now I know they got absolutely eviscerated by Breece Hall last week in week 14, 26.6 PPR points for Breece Hall. But again, did a good job overall against some of these other running backs as well. So I don't know, man. Again, I don't love it here for Tyjae Spears. God, this is really tough. I'm either going Waller or Shaheed. And quite honest with you, I think I trust Waller. Oh my God, just a little bit more. But I honestly, it's a little bit of a coin flip for all these guys, man. I don't have Chad. I wish I was confident. I'm not confident. Not confident in these, man. Not confident in these. All right. Let's go. Yeah. Achan active, but playing with the toe issue, right? So, I mean, again, there's active and then there's active. Like how active is Devin Achan? I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. Thomas Fairfield, thanks for the Tua hope. You got nothing. You got a dart throw for Tommy Cutlets, Zach Wilson, or Joe Flacco off waivers. Yeah, Tua. How are we feeling about DeVito? I feel a little bit more confident about DeVito. No, I don't know, man. Not a great matchup, obviously. You can't do it against New Orleans, dude. Yeah, you can't do Tommy Cutlets against New Orleans, dude. I feel you. You're confident DeVito's a mafia plant. Yeah, maybe, man. If it's Tua versus Zach Wilson or Flacco, yeah, I guess I'm still going Tua. I'm tempted by Flacco though, not Zach Wilson. Tempted by Flacco, but man, that they're down to the third string right tackle, and I think they're on their backup center if I'm not mistaken too, right? So like their offensive line is real bad. Flacco obviously not a mobile quarterback whatsoever, and Cleveland taking on Chicago. Chicago's actually been feisty defensively, especially after the trade, right? So Chicago, I think, is okay. Let me look this up. Against quarterbacks, Chicago over the last 8 weeks have allowed the third fewest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks over the last 8 weeks. Obviously, they stymied Jared Goff, Romeo Doubs. They just absolutely destroyed Romeo Doubs. Joshua Dobbs, they destroyed in week 12. And again, they limited Goff to a pretty bad game there in week 11 as well. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a tough go, especially since the trade. I think the Bears have been a lot tougher against quarterbacks as well, man. So yeah, I think we stick with Tua right there. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't love it though. Not gonna lie, don't love it. If we want to get crazy, I think we go. I think we go wacko for Flacco. If we want to get crazy, oh my God, we got 7 minutes. Oh my God, dude. Okay, listen, guys, throw some questions into the chat. If you guys got them, I'm gonna get to them. I promise you. We got 7 minutes. We're gonna get there. Chris Smith, Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. Kenneth Walker, I think for me. I think Tampa Bay is so tough against running backs, but Philadelphia is no joke either, though. Ooh, that one's tough too. Philadelphia is no joke, but Tampa Bay's been really tough against running backs historically and just over the season. So over the last 8 weeks, Tampa Bay's allowed the 10th fewest fantasy points per game. Aaron Jones is still, I think, a little bit banged up. By the way, Patrick Taylor, an interesting sleeper. If they throw to him, he could pop off. So I don't know, man. I think I'll still go Kenneth Walker there. Again, higher scoring game anticipated. I think you can run into a little bit more touchdown upside with Kenneth Walker. So go ahead and give me Kenneth Walker right there. Baker or Flacco? Baker. It's 2 QB league. Yeah. It's all good. Give me Baker right there. I feel much more confident about Baker than Flacco this week for sure. Clark Schuyler, how many co-pilots have week 18 championships? That's not a good way to play football. That's not a good way to play fantasy. Don't play PSA. Don't play in week 18 championships. That is garbage. Everyone can do TikTok. All right, whatever. We might do TikTok. We might. Ben Junker, how would you go? Howell or Fields? Fields. Going in with the lead from TNF Saturday Football. Good. Yeah, you want to protect that lead a little bit? Go Fields. Howell can give you, have you guys seen these stats? I get that Howell has been like okay from a fantasy perspective, but just overall, right? Like he's taking on the Rams. Okay, so he has not had a passing touchdown in 2 straight games. As a matter of fact, he's had in 3 of his last 5 games, he's had 1 or fewer passing touchdowns. Now, he has certainly gotten by with rushing scores. 2 rushing scores last week, a rushing score against Dallas, a rushing score against the Giants. So from a fantasy perspective, he's been good, right? But man, you can't keep doing that. There's no way. He's scored a rushing touchdown in 3 straight games, right? After not having scored a rushing touchdown since week 1. Dude, you can't live this way, man. I don't see it. I'm really worried about Sam Howell this week. I know it's a decent matchup against the Rams, but this team has given up. This team is Washington has given up on the season. I'm really worried about Sam Howell this week. I just, again, depending on those rushing scores, is no way to live, man. So go ahead and give me Fields. I think Fields is going to be all right. Here we go. Where are we going? Where are we going? Juan Peralta, HN, Lockett. Oh, give me Lockett. That one's easy. Again, I got JSN marked down as a sleeper, but I think Lockett's pretty good too. The quarterback situation scares me a little bit, and the toe injury, though, I think scares me more for Achane. Not a great matchup on the board either against the Jets. So go ahead and give me Lockett in full point PPR in the flex. Yeah, full point PPR too. Yeah, go ahead and give me Lockett. I like both Lockett and DK this week. Obviously, JSN is going to be a sleeper for me. Okay, we got 4 minutes to go. Can I get to them all? J Bags, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Amari Cooper, Jaden Reed. I love Jaden Reed. I love Jaden Reed. Give me Jaden Reed. And I know that sounds a little crazy against Amari Cooper, but I like Jaden Reed. Go for it. Robin, great to see it as always. What do I think for the flex? PPR, Waddle or Swift? Oh, give me DeAndre Swift. I just talked about all those numbers, how they're great against outside wide receivers. Are the Jets. Swift taking on Seattle. And obviously in that way, I think that's a pretty good matchup. As a matter of fact, Seattle has allowed the third most fantasy points per game to running backs over the last 8 weeks, the second most total yards. And if Jalen Hurts is sick, they're going to lean on that run game, man. So for sure, go ahead and give me DeAndre Swift. I know he's been bad recently, but don't be surprised if he pops up and has a huge game for you this week. Beaver Tom, W pick with Zamir White, by the way. Yeah, it was interesting. I was surprised that there was so much blowback on the Zamir pick, but it's all good. No Shame podcast, Lockett or Flowers? Flowers by a million miles. I love Flowers this week. Jacksonville secondary stinks. I think they've got it going on. Beaver Tom got screwed, lost Chase Pittman last night. Oh, man, that sucks. For flex, should I play Shaheed, Gus Edwards, or Deontay Foreman? I feel the most confident with Deontay Foreman. He came back from injury, and they featured him, man. He is their lead guy. I know he didn't put together a huge game, but Deontay Foreman is in a good spot as well against Cleveland. They give up some production on the ground. Clark Schuyler, Flacco or Billy Jeans? Will Levis. Will Levis. Ooh. I'm torn on that one. Maybe I go Wacko for Flacco. You know what? Let's go Wacko for Flacco. Go Wacko for Flacco. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Chris Smith, see you next week for round 2 of the playoffs. All right, will do. All right, Ben. I'm glad I could help, dude. Lock in Fields, man. Let's go. Eric Olson. With 1 minute to go. Achane, Mike Evans, or Evans and DK. Evans and DK. Lock it in. Evans and DK. Lock it in. I love DK this week. Lock that in, baby. All right. Let's go. I think I got to them all. I did. Thank God. All right. That's the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Playoff time is here. Let's go. Everyone go get that chip. Follow me on TikTok because, by the way, it's at James D. Co. Because, again, I'm thinking about going TikTok now. All right. So doing these live streams on TikTok. So go follow me there, and hopefully we'll get it going. Let's go. With seconds to spare, baby. Let's make it happen, Eric Olson. Let's make it happen. Okay. At James D. Co. everywhere. I'm on Threads as well, man. So, but go ahead, man. I appreciate you guys. It's been great, man. So playoff time is here. And we go. All right. Let's go win that championship, baby. Let's make it happen. All right. We'll see you guys next week, man. All right. Peace.